95% of all my first-time students usually fight a slice. What I show them in that first lesson are two easy concepts that are part of the foundation of the stack and tilt golf swing system. By the end of this video, you're going to know what both those concepts are, how to hit a draw, and how to control how much or how little you want to curve it. The first thing we have to understand when it comes to hitting a draw versus a slice is we have to know why the ball slices. First thing we know is the face angle is open to the path in which we're swinging. It doesn't matter if we swing inside out or we swing outside in or over the top. If the face is open, the ball's going to slice to the right. If the face is closed, we now can get the golf ball to curve to the left. So concept number one is understanding that the face has to be closed to the path. Using the grid system from Stack and Tilt, we can build that in at address. First off, we have to understand that the face is closed to the shaft. Every iron on the planet has offset. Offset is the amount in millimeters that the leading edge sits behind the shaft. That points the face to the left and builds the draw into the setup. Behind me here we have the grid. I have two alignment sticks portraying my club's path. I have one vertical alignment stick portraying the low point of the swing or where the center is. For every golf ball back in the arc I play the golf ball, the more inside out I'm going to hit the golf ball with. So the more inside out I'm swinging and I maintain that face slightly close to the shaft, I can hit golf balls that curve to the left relatively easy. If my ball is curving too much, I can move the ball closer to the center of the arc. If I needed to draw more, I can move it further back. If you want to know more about how the grid is built and what it does when it affects offset, make sure to click this link and watch this video right here. My grid setup to hit a stock draw is the golf ball 3 balls behind my lead shoulder. The handle will actually be about 1.5 to 2 balls behind my left shoulder, and the face will actually point slightly open to the target. This is going to allow me to start the ball right every time, and as long as I maintain this relationship without overdoing it with the rotation of my wrists and my arms, I'm going to hit a draw every time. The second concept that we're going to use to hit a draw is part of Stack and Tilt's basis of moving the hands inward around our body on an arc. We don't want them to move like a Ferris wheel up and down. We need to think about it or feel it a little bit more like a merry-go-round. But ideally, we would take that Ferris wheel and we would tilt it on an angle. The hands would move in, but they would also move up as well on a diagonal incline. If I tried to swing my hands like I see 95% of my first-time students do, but I set my grid up, watch what happens. Set the grid, ball 3 balls behind the shoulder, hands at 1.5, face open. Ball started slightly right, kind of like I expected it to, and it sliced to the right. All I did was swing my path like I see most of my students. As soon as we learn how to move our hands and the club inward while maintaining the face relationship to the grid, the easier it is to play a draw. Now, for a lot of people, they can't feel how to move their hands and arms around their body, even with a line or a curved arc on the ground showing them how to do so. One of the easiest ways to teach people how to move their hands and the club inward on an arc is to use an alignment stick with a pool noodle. This is an alignment disc from Y Golf. They have pre-drilled holes at certain lie angles to put this on. I usually want this to match the lie angle of the club. My 7-iron is 2 degrees flat, so the lie angle is 60 degrees, so I have this set up at a 60-degree hole. And so if I put my 7-iron flat on the ground, that stick matches what my shaft is. So if you're outside, you can take an alignment stick and a pool noodle and stick it in the ground. 2 to 2.5 feet behind your golf ball, and about a grip outside the target line. I have a lot of my students from here move trying to keep the club in your hands underneath that stick at all times. If I take my setup and I make my backswing and I take it outside, I hit the stick. So it's instant feedback into what it is you need to do. What I love my students to do is make a lot of practice swings, making sure that they keep the face angle in relation to their shaft so that the face actually feels like it's always pointed slightly down. Backswing, hip high checkpoint, face has to be down. Make the rest of my backswing to the top. As I come down, I need to actually stay under the noodle. If I over rotate my body, the club's gonna come down on the wrong side of the noodle. If I shift to the left and lower my arms before I spin my body, now I can get the club shaft underneath the noodle, but I can verify that the face is pointed slightly down to the shaft. It doesn't matter if we swing inside out, if we roll this face open and then we do this and we come down and we leave the face open. You can swing inside out all you want, but your face to shaft relationship has to remain closed. That concept alone creates your draw. Inside out makes it easier so that you're not set up for a draw and then cutting across it like I demonstrated earlier. So we make a series of practice swings. Turn the body, hands move in, checkpoint, face is down. Top of the backswing, we come down. Can the shaft get down in behind it with the face pointed down? Brush the ground and stop in the follow through. You can see here where the face is in relation to my shaft. It's still closed and the face points to the left and the club stays to the right. This allows the club path to stay inside out long enough. If we get down here and we pull our hands around our left hip and we flip the club this way, you're now taking the path and getting rid of all this nice work that we did to try to hit a draw. So you have to get under the noodle, follow through, and when you stop here, the club needs to be out to the right with your hands in line with your chest. Right here, if I'm hitting a shot towards the camera, this is what you should see in the follow through. Every time I do this, the ball should draw as long as I maintain that relationship. Ball starts to the right, gentle draw to the left. Now, if I start playing around with the ball position on my grid and my handle gets further forward, I'm gonna make more offset that's built into that club shaft. The more offset that I build in, the bigger the curve is gonna be. So when I set up for this, I set up with the ball more back. We're gonna start, instead of 3 balls, we're gonna put it at 5. And we're gonna hit this shot. You're gonna see the ball start right and draw left more. If we do it again, and I play the ball at 7 balls behind my low point, we hit that shot and the ball starts further right yet and draws back more. And as you can see, that ball landed on the target line. Now, if we're hooking it too much from that point, I can move the ball back forward. In fact, if I wanted to hit a pull cut, I just line up straight, put the ball 1 to 2 balls forward of my arc, keep the hands at the same spot, take my normal grip. I can start this ball left and cut it back without crossing. There are times where I'm hooking it too much and I play the ball as far forward as I need to so that I can straighten out my swing path and keep my face pointed where I want the ball to start. I don't change my feet, my shoulders at address. I move my hands, the ball position, and the face angle, and I keep my body lined up fairly parallel to the target. Control these two concepts. Understand where your grid needs to be and work on moving your hands in the club around your body on an arc to make your path move inside out. You do these things, I promise you, you're gonna hit a draw in no time. If you guys are interested in personal golf instruction, make sure click this link and go to my Patreon. I have multiple monthly online practice sessions. You can also click this link and go to my personal website at s2golfacademy.com to book in-person lessons with me as well. Another thing you can do is you can go to any one of my members-only videos, click to watch it, and click the join button, and you can get access to my members-only shorts, my members-only videos, and early access to all my videos that I publish here on YouTube. If you want to get better, follow these concepts. I promise you, you're going to have a lot more fun.